Hi, I'm Ashy. Welcome to my January alphabet painting series. So this year I decided to choose a New Year's resolution that I feel like is actually doable, and that is for the first 26 days of the year, to paint a small, quick watercolor sketch that corresponds with the letters of the alphabet. This will help me be disciplined and help me paint daily for this first, month or so. And hopefully this will help me also build that habit of creativity and just pulling out the paints every single day. And it's just building that habit of creativity. Let me know if you have any New Year's resolutions that you are deciding on for yourself this year. I'd love to hear your different ideas in the comments. So for each of these videos, I'll be using the brand new sketchbook that I'm starting this year. It's Moleskine watercolor album. It's not the highest quality paper, but for quick watercolor sketches, it does the job. Let's jump in. Day 22 is V is for violet. So I'm going to try to do a very loose violet flower. So I've mixed up already this blue, which is ultramarine. I mixed up some ultramarine blue and some rose, permanent rose, with leaning more toward the blue. And then just to mute it slightly, because it's just a little bit too vivid, I just add a little bit of yellow, which is the complementary color to purple. So that just mutes it a little bit, makes it not quite as vivid. So I'm going to start with now taking some of that color, rinsing my brush, rubbing or kind of dragging it on the edge of my cup, and then doing a light wash of this color to get kind of some transparent petals for the background. Now, florals, I will say, are not like really my thing. I love watching people paint them. There are some fantastic floral artists out there. I am not one of them. Just not really my thing. I don't know what I'm doing with florals, but we're gonna try because V is for violet, so we're gonna try. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit more concentrated of that color and do a petal coming down. And this one's a lot wider. Okay, and it's going to be darker too, which I'll go in and add more layers as we go. Okay, and then two coming out kind of from the center and up to the side. And I have to keep telling myself that petals aren't perfect. Flowers aren't perfect. They're not symmetrical, they're nature. So if it's not perfect, that's okay. But it still kind of needs to look like a flower. So now that's a lot of extra water right here, and so that's going to dry funky if I leave all that. So I'm just kind of spreading it around, lifting some of it up and tapping it on my towel. Okay. Now that I have kind of that base shape in, I'm gonna try not to really change the shape anymore. I'm just gonna tap in some more color around the middle, let it bleed out. hopefully. And then just kind of creating a little bit of texture while trying to keep it from having any funky blooms. So I rinsed and dried my brush, and then I'm gonna blend that out because I didn't like it. So just gonna blend, and then I'm gonna lift some of that color up from the edge of the petals. Okay. Now I'm gonna tap in some kind of really orangey warm yellow, which I already have some mixed up here. It's like a muted yellow, so probably put a little bit of blue or purple in there to mute it. So I'm just gonna tap that in to the center there. Okay. And then I'm gonna get a little bit of green. And just create a very simple stem, just coming straight down. Mute that green just a little bit because it's too like lime green for me. There we go. And then I'm just gonna make little like ridges off of it. I don't know. I don't really know what violet flowers look like. So I'm using a reference photo, but it doesn't really have pictures of the stem or leaves or anything. So I'm just making a very simple stem. There we go. Now, as that dries, I can take a smaller brush. So I'm going to take my size 0. That's not my size 0. My size 0. And take some more of this color. And ultramarine is a granulating color, so you can see that it kind of separates. So if you look in my palette here, you can see the pink and the like blues kind of swirled. And so it does separate a little bit, which creates some interesting texture. It's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and create some like separation between the petals and some veins is my thought, which I might need to switch more to my liner brush for that because this is still pretty thick. Oh my goodness. Clearly, flowers are not my thing. I'm all over the place. Let me switch to my liner brush. Okie dokie. Liner brush. Great. And I'm just going to take and make some, yeah, that's better. Some really faint, fine lines. And I don't necessarily want them to meet up all the way. Put more of them toward the center. Where it's darker. And then I can bring some out toward the edges. Just Just kind of get some touches. Kind of following the curve of the petal also with some of these lines. So I want it to be kind of curved. Okay, and then coming out here and do a few. Again, get it kind of darker and deeper toward the center. And then pull out some of those lines. Pull some in from the edges. So at this point, I'm just layering up more and more of this color. I don't know if that's doing what I want it to do, but it's what I'm doing. So we'll see how it ends up. Okay, and then I want to create just a slight separation between these petals in the back here. The lightest amount of that same color. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of water and kind of blend this back out because I don't like all of those lines out here where that highlight is. So just kind of blend it out. And then same here, where the highlight is on the petal, just gonna blend it out and soften it some. Okay, we're gonna call that good for the violet flower. I don't think it's gonna get better if I keep working on it. I think it's just gonna get overworked. So let's move on to our lettering. So I'm going to use the same purple-ish, same-ish purple, but I need it more concentrated. So I'm just kind of mixing up a little bit more of it. It's close enough. And V. Is 4, and then I'm gonna do this golden yellow to kind of match the inside of the flower. Yes, that's what that's called. And I want to make sure I spell it right. So I'm using these brush pens and working on some calligraphy-esque writing. And so just kind of working on those pressure strokes to get the light up and the heavy down. So violet V, light up, heavy down. I. For the O, I've found that it's easier to start away and then come into that heavy pressure for the down. V-O-L, light up. Get some separation, heavy down, E, T. Dot the I. V is for violet. I think that was pretty successful overall. I'm glad the lettering was successful. The flower, maybe when I look back at it in a few hours, I'll like it better. But
V is for Violet.
Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to see when each of my new videos drops. Have an awesome day.